before I get into the headlines, I just want to show you one thing out here in the Pacific, or out here, yeah, in the Pacific out here. It looks like we have just, you know, some kind of normal clouds out here in the Pacific until we put the right layer on here, and then we can see the ship tracks, all these yellow lines. There's a brand new bunker fuel operation right off the coast of California, and we still have one down here off the coast of Argentina, and all this was ship tracks from yesterday. And I think there was some over here by Australia. But anyway, you guys want to know, a lot of you already know what the ship tracks are, but we got tons of them, and you can't see them. They're hidden in the clouds. So we got massive bunker fuel operations. When I'm talking bunker fuel, I'm talking about, it's a generic term given to any fuel poured into a ship's bunker to power its engines. This is really heavy, nasty, toxic crap. It's like the leftovers of refining fuel. You know, and there's supposed to be regulations on these bunker fuels and ship tracks. And, you know, all these climate change and global warming people, they never talk about these ship tracks and what they do to the atmosphere. And you can just go here and look it up, ship tracks. Ship tracks are clouds that form around the exhaust released by ships into the ocean air. Molecules collect around the tiny particles, aerosols, from exhaust to form a cloud seed. Accumulate. Cloud lines were observed. It was hyped. Cloud lines were observed. Cloud lines were observed. It was hypothesized that most likely caused from the exhaust. That ain't what I wanted to get into here. Where was it? Well, somewhere in here it tells you just how much it affects the climate. Scientists soon realized that the climatic impacts from aerosols could have a large effect on the climate through the Tomia effect, and that ship tracks provided an excellent laboratory for their studies. So, you know, they're using the oceans as like the lab rat. Anyway, they're supposed to be, you know, the IPAC and all them are supposed to be regulations on these things, but they eased them because they think it's helping the global warming, but it's not. It's actually trapping the heat in. It's making all the storms more electrified, and that's why we're seeing a lot of the weather that we're seeing today. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there so you guys could, for the new people that didn't know what ship tracks were. But what we got them out here in the Pacific. Every time we see these bunker fuel operations, something changes. Some kind of weather pattern shift, or a fire, or something happens. So anyway, just wanted to make sure we got to see that. Let me make sure I don't have nothing running that could be slowing us down. And it looks like we're all good. All right. So coming right here from the NASA site, tracers, clouds, and trails. They first used sounding rockets that flown in the 1950s. Scientific research with experiments which inject vapor tracers in the upper atmosphere have greatly aided the understanding of our planet's near space environment. These materials make visible the natural occurring flows of the ionized and neutral particles, either by blah blah blah. But here's the vapor selected to create the colorful clouds and trails depend on the purpose of the investigation. The local time and the altitude under study. Commonly used vapors that are released in space are trimethyl aluminum, lithium, and barium. Now you wonder why the clouds are all different colors. This is why. It's because this is some of the particles that they're releasing into the sky. Here's an image of a daytime lithium trail, 68 miles in altitude in the Wallops Islands, Virginia in 2013. So just more stuff here. All these links will be in the descriptions. Here's a map of the 5G wireless that's currently available now. You can see your state on here. You can see where they've already deployed all the 5G kill grid. Here's your AT&T maps. The Sprint. Man, that looks pretty close to where I'm at. Here's the T-Mobile 5G. And here's the proposed. Look at that map. They want to inundate us with millimeter waves. There's nowhere to hide, man. Look at this map. Here's the T-Mobile 5G. So it's not only going to be one company, it's going to be all the companies. This stuff needs to get stopped before everybody is croaking out from this stuff. We've had a rare tornado hit Wilcox, Arizona. This was today. Remnants of Hurricane Lorena, or actually this happened on the 23rd, brought strong winds, very rare tornado to Arizona on September 23rd, 2019. So it injured 2 people. It was a EF1. Got the path here. Quite a bit of damage, a lot of footage from this thing. Yeah, I remember seeing that over on Facebook or somewhere where it was going right up the little hill there. Pretty crazy. And then we got this going on over in Cali. Smog checks required for big trucks under the new law signed by Newsom. Gruesome Newsom. In a move aimed at reducing air pollution, Newsom on Friday signed a law for the first time that will require most large trucks in California, including 18-wheel tractor trailers, to pass a regular smog check. How about all you truckers just stop going to California? You know, maybe tell them to quit deploying the bunker fuel, or tell the whole Air Force to quit flying, and then that'll take care of the air pollution. Like, here we go. The U.S. military is a bigger polluter than as many as 140 countries. Yeah, shrinking the war machine is a must. You want to do something about climate? Get a lot of, all these planes need to be grounded for a while. That's what I don't get. All these climate people talk about everything but what's really going on. They're actually purposely heating the climate. Now, you've seen here recently about all these nanoparticulates of the plastic being found in the ice cores and all that crap. Well, here they go. They're just one tea bag can release billions of microscopic plastic particles into your drink, a new study finds. But most of this is coming out of the aircraft and the bunker fuel and all that stuff. Then we got this crazy, I think I reported on this last year or something, and I don't remember seeing this, but where the islands are, I got them on Google here, where they buried, where they did a bunch of nuclear testing, but they made a sculpture. All they had was rubber gloves, and they filled it like with concrete. So when they went out to clean this thing up, this site up, the Unatuck Atoll in the South Pacific was used by the U.S. government to test 30 megatons of atomic weapons, the equivalent to 2,000 Hiroshima bombs in 1948, 1958. 43 nuclear detonations. Thousands of people were sent to clean the islands, shifting 3 million cubic feet of contaminated soil and debris into a blast crater. But before they buried the waste under a concrete dome, they left a message of a sculpting a hand flipping the middle finger as a crude warning. You know, it's just ridiculous what the militaries do. Yeah, pretty nuts. But anyway, I went on Google and I wanted to look at where these islands were. We got Guam right here, Captain Guam. This place is just right across from me here. Let's see if I can find it again. Yeah, here we go. So here's a perfectly good island. And there's actually a bunch of houses and stuff down here. Look, there is the runway. So you have, you know, this could be paradise for some people. And, you know, they detonated all them nuclear weapons. And here's that spot right here. But when I zoomed in here, I'm like, well, what the heck? Here's the concrete dome. But what about this blast crater? So you got two blast craters right here blowing up paradise. And one of them they have covered. What about this one? Well, anyway, these things are still leaking radiation out into the ocean. You know, and I was just kind of digging around out here. And the other thing, these are all like volcanoes, man. This thing is sitting on top of probably a super volcano. But I was looking at all these little islands around here, and there was more. See if I can find this other island. And they even had a place mark. I can't remember if it was this island or not, man. But it was some kind of test site, nuclear test site. Let's see if I can find that. I don't even know if it was this one. Pretty sure it was this one. The little icon ain't up here now. Anyway, yeah, man, they just blew apart all these freaking islands out here. Tons of islands out here. And now they're all ruined. They've been ruined. You know, that's what, you know, it's just ridiculous that the military can just go, hey, there's, you know, who knows? There probably was people living on these little strips of land. And they decide just to blow them up with the, you know, somebody's living large right here. Got their own personal airport, little bitty town right there. I know right around here was that nuclear site, but it's not showing it to me now. I got the images, I think, on. Hell, that could have been another one too. I don't know. I was all digging around here. Just kind of looking at things. You know, we're not that far really from Hawaii and all that. So yeah, you got a Fukushima, and then you got all the nuclear blasts that happen out here. Just more BS that's went on from the governments. So here's something somebody sent me: the ecological militarism, the unusual history of the military's relationship with climate change. The military has weaponized the climate for a long time. You know, I'm not going to read this article, but I'm going to go down. I highlighted, if it's still highlighted, just a little part I wanted to read right here. In the speech to the National Academy of Sciences in 1963, President Kennedy noted that human science could now alter our physical and biological environment on a global scale. This was a fundamental realization that humans could change the world, and they could do it in a matter of minutes to years if they chose. The Cold War was forced scientists and their military benefactors to realize that humans had become more efficient at shaping the earth than most geological forces in existence. It was tempting then for Cold War militaries to investigate just how far that power could go in both destructive and constructive ways. Can we lengthen or shorten the seasons? The military tried it. Can we disappear our worst waste in the oceans? Every country with nuclear waste has tried it. But anyway, I got this link in the description if you want to read this whole article. Talks about how they've weaponized the climate since, the 60s. Just more evidence of everything that is going on. So I gotta save that. I didn't bookmark that. All right, so I think we can go ahead. Oh, before I want to jump into the maps and stuff, I wanted to come over here to my Facebook page. We showed you the aerosols that were being deployed in Australia. Look at these clouds coming out of Australia. Does that look normal? Does that look like a normal cloud pattern? Not even close. So that's coming out of Victoria, Australia. And then here's what's going on in Oman, where I showed you they made the man-made hurricane or cyclone. Look at it. This is the desert. It's just completely underwater. The whole desert is underwater, just like they did in Iran. So more man-created weather. I think that might have been all I wanted to show you. Oh, here you go. If you haven't seen these pictures, let me just scroll through these real quick. Look at that. Where have we seen him and her before? How about them? Ah, even him. She gets around. Is that all that's going to load there? Now, I don't know if these have been photoshopped or anything. It don't look like it, but hey, who knows? Pretty interesting. Yep, she definitely gets around. Pretty crazy, huh? All right. Oh, she's even with the boat. Well, you know it ain't right then. All right. So let's get out of that. Definitely a puppet, a master of puppets. So I was checking out this hurricane over here, man. This thing's going to really strengthen up. And it's going to produce like 50-foot waves. So it's going to be a pretty good storm when it gets out here in the center of the Atlantic. I mean, this is way up here. So all these little island chains up here, be a heads up. But yeah, we're looking at 52-foot waves, 52.9. So 50-foot waves here around the 30th. So here in a couple days, let me put it on now. So right now we're looking at 46-foot waves now. So that thing's not going to hit, anything unless you're up there in them islands. You're going to be okay on that one. All right, let's go ahead and just check out the current storms here. So we got Hurricane Lorenzo. That's the one we just looked at. Look at these models, man. Look at these models, man. Some of them are having it go all the way back, hitting Greenland, hitting Nova Scotia, wiping out the islands there. Pretty crazy. And we got Tropical Storm Karen. Look, it's going to just do nothing. It's the dust. The Sahara dust is going to blow that thing apart unless they blow apart the dust. Which we'll take a look at that. Check out this cyclone. It's on land. The tracks are over land. In fact, the tracks are showing it going from land out and then back in, not even hitting the water. These are all man-made. In 3. So this one here, they got the crazy spaghetti models making it go up towards the Bajas of California. It'll never make it. And where's this one at? Oh, this one's gonna go up and hit Japan. Another man-made storm. Yeah, man, they're really buffering this tonight. What the heck? Yeah, I don't know why we are buffering so damn bad tonight. I guess they don't want the word out. Yeah, I have no maps are running. Yeah, nothing is in motion. Yeah, I don't know why it is running like crap. You know, normally at this time it runs pretty good. Oh, here's something. Let me bring this in. I forgot about this. Tom sent this. Putin warns Western governments are destroying the planet with chemtrails for control and profit. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused Western governments of manipulation of the Earth's environment through chemical spraying operations designed to alter the world's climate and poison the population. Russia's premier made the statements while speaking at a fundraiser and claimed that the spraying of chemicals into the Earth's atmosphere via chemtrails is funded by corporations and sanctioned by governments. They just keep going on and on. Yeah, there was definitely some big ass earthquakes down in Puerto Rico. We'll take a look at them. Ah, the stream finally just turned green. So, hey, thanks out there. Super chat. Who was that? Iron Man Metal. Right on. All right. So we showed you the bunker fuel operations out here in the Pacific. Oh, I want to show you Radical Ralph sent us a video from Maine. And we want to go up here and take a look at the aerosols being deployed up there. Hey, thanks, Mike Mackey. Here, let me show you the on-the-ground footage from Maine. See if I can get this to flick over. So here's Radical Ralph. Look at that tight spraying formation. Right over pretty much central Maine. So there you go, man. Look at this. He was saying the sky was dripping. That's the same kind of dripping clouds we've seen in Australia. Yeah, that's the military radars down there. That's pretty normal for them. You got all the wind and the solar farms right there, but that's the military radars. Yeah, I turned it off there, Ralph. No, it's all good. I got you covered there. All right, so here's what it looked like. Here's what it looks like from the sky. Every bit of it is man-made. It's all man-made clouds via the aerosols. Spraying the grids. We can check the layers here. That's probably about when he took his pictures. That's what it looks like. Sky is dripping from synthetic man-made clouds. That's why I always say, man, stop the aircraft, stop the ships, stop the Air Force and Navy and all them, and then the skies will clear up. We got a mega spraying operation over Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Mississippi, Alabama, Southern California. Mega spraying over Utah, Colorado. They're setting up for the snow. Idaho, getting sprayed. Wyoming. See, these guys are gonna get hammered by a bunch of fake snow. And we come up here, we can see they're seeding the backside. Tons of aerosols. Could be why the ships are out here and they're going to censor some of the data here. So at least the stream is back in the green. This isn't running very fast, but hopefully we get the internet fixed up a little better here in a week or two. Hopefully we can get it fixed with some better and hopefully cheaper. We got a mass spraying operation down here in Argentina. We had ship tracks over here yesterday. Look, they did the bunker fuel yesterday and the day before. Now we have a mass spraying operation, X's all over the sky down here in Argentina, and then all the way out off the coast. And there's some bunker fuel being deployed still. Wonder if it'll show up with our layers. Yep, look at that. So still deploying the bunker fuel off the coast of Chile. Let's go ahead. Here's that dust that we seen earlier. I mean, this is a freak dust storm right here. I mean, that's a freak dust storm. That's huge. So mega dust storm. Like I said before, you'd only see what, like one little stringy line. And this is where the you'd have to go back to earlier in the show to show what usually comes off that coast. There's so much dust in the atmosphere. It's just it's going to create havoc this winter. So we're in for some global cooling this winter. It's going to be a bad winter. All right, so it looks like the UK is still getting hammered. France, Germany, Norway, all still getting smacked down. Wow, it looks like, oh, I didn't think they were spraying, but they're still spraying off the coast of Greenland. Setting up for the next system. Never no aerosols in this area, ever. Well, once this year. All right, just kind of looking around. Tons of spraying in Russia. So Putin's spraying the aerosols too. Don't let them fool you. They're all doing it. Kazakhstan spraying operation. Mongolia spraying operation. Big time spraying operation over North Korea, South Korea. The Sea of Japan's getting waxed. In fact, you see little frequencies going on. All right. Looks like Guam's going to be producing a few hurricanes to send up towards the Sea of Japan. And check it out, the spraying operation is still going on over Australia. Like, this is a massive weather warfare going on down here. Like, way above normal. Try clicking the layers. So, you know, the weird clouds I showed you over there on Facebook, this is what, you know, this is part of it right here. So the spraying operation goes all the way out. I mean, this is a big time spraying operation. Let me span that out. So pretty much right under Malaysia. So they're trying to pull that atmospheric river in using cloud seeding. Kind of wonder what Miles Research Company is doing. He's not into the cloud seeding. He don't need it. He uses the electromagnetics to steer the atmospheric rivers. All right, we're probably good with that. And we probably don't need to look at these, but we will look at the mimic map. I don't even know the last name. Yeah, there you go. Thornburg. Hey, thanks, Sherry King. Alright, so here we are. Waiting for the mimic map to load so we can see what kind of manipulation's going on up in the ionosphere, up in the troposphere. Wow, man, they're really buffering tonight's stream really bad. Yeah, a lot of cigarettes. I smoke like a, oh, I don't know, Thunder Buns. Yeah, hey, that'll work. I'm like a chimney. Oh, wow, we got some weird stuff going on. Look at that. Oh, we'll have to zoom in on that. We have a weird anomaly on the Mimic 2. That's blatant. See if we can pick that up a little closer. Oh, not the right one. I need to go over. Let's try that one. See, the way I look at it is I'm caking my lungs up with tar and nicotine, and then the nanoparticulates will be stuck in that goo and not make it to my lungs. All right, so let's see, what do we have here? Whoa, look at that little flash. That's coming from a ship. So see, that's not a stitching error whatsoever. That's something being manipulated there. And you can see it turns the water vapor right into a 90. So that's being directed towards the Sea of Japan. And we got this, you know what, that could be coming from like Guam. So that's at between 150 and 160 east. 150, 160 east. Man, I don't have my Google up. All right, I'm going to dig in to see if that's coming around the Guam and being blasted up towards the Sea of Japan. And here's a typhoon forming. So we got mega manipulation coming either from an island or from a ship. So I'll dig into that for tomorrow. So glad we documented that. And let me get back to the full page here so I can see. That was the first one I spotted. You know, that's what a lot of these companies are doing. They're steering the atmospheric rivers using either ionization or electromagnetics, ionospheric heating, space-based weapons. So this is what they steer. They steer the atmospheric rivers. This is why the Midwest was flooded out so bad. This is why countries get droughted out. You know, they steered, when they did the Paradise Fires, first they droughted California out. And then they just steered this right in to wash away the evidence. Hey, thanks, sir. Elijah. So yeah, we'll definitely dig into this. Yeah, there's that anomaly over here. That's the only one I'm seeing on the whole map. Oh, look down here. Now I see another one. Look at that. They're shooting something towards India. Now, we did have a big earthquake out there. Ah, that explains it. So when you have the microwave imagery picking up different, these are not stitching errors. This is something else. And then you had big earthquakes in the same area. That tells me we're seeing some VLF or some SVLF, super low frequency weapons being used. Like the Hart facility, but it's probably not Hart, but it could be anybody. There's tons of ionospheric heaters out here, tons of VLF transmitters. In fact, let's just look real quick. Let's jump over to the climate viewer and put on the VLF transmitter sites, the ionospheric heaters, and just see what's there. Yeah, I already looked at the RAM slider and for the solar winds, and yeah, that's hitting at the poles. It's not going to hit at the equator like that. That's something else, man. That's manipulation. Oh wow, I changed everything. All right, man. I don't like changes. Now I got to try to find all this stuff. Well, luckily I found them. So we could load them, the Digisons. Let's load up. I want the ionospheric heaters, and then I want the... We don't need the lasers. Where's the I think I might have our transmitters. There's our super darns. Low frequency arrays. And very long. Okay, that'll be enough. Alright, so let's just go look. So we have VLF transmitters all over this area. And now down here, what do we got over here? So where that other anomaly is, we have like a Hart facility. Let's see if I can open that up. So they're calling this a equatorial atmosphere radar. It looks just like a Hart facility. So we definitely have something there. And then what? Oh, over here in India, we got the MST radar, highly sensitive VHF phased array radar, operating at 53 megahertz. The phase array consists of 1,024 cross 3-element Yagi antennas. So yeah, we got plenty of things over here to create what we're seeing on the mimic map. And I could actually overlay, let me see if I can overlay the mimic on here. Let me see if I can do this. I might be able to. I don't know if he has the mimic too. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe this one. I need to be over just a little bit. Let me see if I can find the right map. Maybe this one. And then we'll have to remove. Well, I guess I can leave both on there. So now we might be able to see exactly where this thing is emanating from. So it's going to take it a minute to load. Now this is the way you spot if one of these transmitters is creating the anomalies here. And it's definitely going to take a little bit to load. Let's see, is there anything I can close out? I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Get rid of that. That's not running. That's not running. And get rid of that. Alright, we just got to wait on it to load. Yeah, now we're back in the green, man. It's crazy, man. This stream has been crap tonight. Screw tube. Yeah, I noticed. Hey, yeah, and I was going to tell everybody, man, it's the YouTube is deleting and blocking comments in the live chat, in the regular, comment section. It's not just the mods that are doing things in the chat, man. It's the bots. It's all that crap. So if you get kicked out for no reason, it probably wasn't from a mod. It was probably from the YouTube monkeys. Oh man, this is taking forever to load. Wonder if I'd scroll in. I could put it on the 2D. But if we see these things emanating right from a VLF transmitter or a Digison or an island, then we know. Yeah, now it's back in the green, man. It's just jumping all around. Wow, this is some slow loading. Well, at least we'll have it in slow motion once the anomaly starts appearing. Oh, wow. So the stream's in the green, but this thing is loading super slow. Hey, thanks out there, Melinda, there on the PayPal thing. Oh, if it ever loads. Man, it's just barely moving. Wonder if I can pause it here and do it by hand. It's not going to take us. It's only going to February 18th. What? This isn't the right one. We waited all that time just to find out that that's not the right one. What the heck? We're gonna have to get him to get the Mimic 2 on here, unless he does have it. That's the Mimic 1. It broke down the last solar wind event we had, and it's still stuck on February. Let's remove that. Let's remove that. That's not giving us. Oh wait, here's a version 2. But that's not where we need to be. Oh man. Northwest Pacific. I don't know if that'll get it, but that's. Oh, here we go. This should be the right one here. Yeah, version 2. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. talking. Oh, okay. There we go. Now we got it. So, man, that is Guam right there. And then the second one looks like it's coming. It looks like it's emanating from over here. You got a BLF transmitter. You got that other ionospheric heater. So this actually took several hours. 2 hours. So it looks like they were doing some kind of troposphere heating for a couple hours. Anyway, I'll be anxious to see what this looks like tomorrow. You know, after it affects us, because, you know, we're far as we can go tonight with it. So tomorrow will be a good day to see how it affected the water vapors here. So let's just capture that one more time. It's over here. No other, you know, stitching arrows will be in S's. In fact, they used to have where you could look at what a stitching error looked like. But yeah, that's just a pulse. They're pulsing the atmospheric river up in the troposphere. It's 2 locations. So yeah, we'll see what that goes into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take another look at where Radical Ralph was filming. And we can see tons of X's over Maine. I mean, just aerosols. Look at that big X. Look at that. Let me pause that because that was so blatant. You got a big X out here, but you got all these super fast lines. Everybody is getting bombarded. Let's just take a bigger look at the whole picture. So everything's being ice nucleated up in the north. Heavy chemtrails from California all the way through the midsection. Northern California is getting hit. Nevada. Like, man, they got a fleet of aircraft laying the liners today. Look at that. We got a backward spinning system. Well, actually, it's spinning the right way, but it's definitely going a weird way over California. And then they kill it off. Man, that's so fabricated. Every bit of this is fabricated storms. You know, we got some wicked storms coming this weekend. You're going to be flooding in Iowa, flooding in Wisconsin, Kansas, Missouri. Mega floods over the next 5 days. In fact, we better go look at the tropical tidbits real quick. It's all weather control. Doppler radars, NEXRAD, cell phone towers. All of it. Bluetooth. Alright, so let's just fast forward this up. There's the snowstorm coming in. And here comes our severe weather day. So we're going to be looking at tornadoes in New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. This is next Tuesday. I thought we were getting there's supposed to be something. Look at the wind event. We got blizzard conditions up here in Wyoming, Idaho. So you got a blizzard going on. Looks like tons of snow. So we're getting our first blizzard here in the next few days. Yeah, here's some severe weather outbreaks here. Hey, thanks, Cassandra. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at a lot of severe weather. I just want to check the total precipitation amount real quick. And this is going to tell us the target zones. Now we know Florida is going to be getting targeted here coming up later in a few weeks here. Not a few weeks, but here in about a week. See if it's still showing. Oh wow, now they're showing most of the rain staying off of Florida. Yeah, that's not me. You gotta wait for YouTube to process this video. That's why it's looking fuzzy on your guys' end. Or go over to D Live. It's a lot clearer. Twitch is a lot clearer. Hey, thanks there, Brian R. So yeah, it looks like the flood zone now is. Let's check out the snow. You watch, so the tracks will go back to what we did on the 16-day forecast. These things change through the week, but man, they're pretty much dead on from the 16-day forecast. It's like that's the weather plan, the day they bring out the weather plan. So that's the snow coming in. You're looking at 13 inches for Wyoming, 12 inches, 9. See what the second wave does. All right. All right, that's probably good. All right, just check this thing real quick out here. Let's get this on now. Put it on the air. And I just want to check the polar vortex winds. This thing's going to be moving up to the northern hemisphere any day, pretty much. Look, it's already starting to spin up. Still have our anomaly above the equator. I want to check temperatures real quick. Still have a rapid heating event over Antarctica. Let's go ahead and check the jet streams. Look, there's no troughs or ridges in the jet stream again. It's just bypassing the whole United States. So that's a pretty strange pattern right there. Let's go ahead and check there's the wave heights. We already looked at that one. Let's go ahead and check the sea surface temperatures. The ocean is cooling. It's not getting hotter, it's actually cooling. This might be growing a little bit, but everything else is cooling down. Here's our anomalies. Take that wind off there. Look at the heat from all the bunker fuel that's been deployed up here. Look at the heat anomaly in Alaska in the Bering Sea. That's all man-made. I showed you the document where President Kennedy talked about this in 1967. Uh-oh, dogs are going off. All right, we sound like a gunshot went off, which is normal for out here. Fully automatic fire. Oh man, hold on, I'll mute out while they're barking. All right, they probably won't quit barking. It's probably a walnut that hit the metal or something. Who knows? Could be a raccoon out there, but maybe we'll let them out. They'll go chase it down, whatever it is. All right, let's go ahead and check the carbon monoxide at the surface. Still got fires going on all up in the north. East Coast looks horrible. This is from the aerosols. Tons of aerosols. Check the carbon dioxide. The planet's looking actually better than it has in a long time. And here's the bunker fuel lines. You know, these are the ship tracks that we talked about earlier in the show. If you haven't seen that, go back to the beginning. Let's go ahead and check the dust. It's picking up that. Let me back it up a day so you can see that dust that happened. Look, it's like they're blowing all the dust away from the whole African continent. That's how sensitive this is. Let me go ahead and, if people missed the beginning, over here we have a strange dust storm. I mean, this thing is huge, coming off the Nambia. So I mean, that's just insane. Like, it's never had one that bad before. Probably not going to get no Twitter feeds of this thing. So yeah, that just goes to show you how accurate this earth null is. Put it back on now, but there's going to be no sand left to blow over our way. And what's crazy is this hurricane right here should be getting blown apart. I mean, that hurricane is just filled with this dust. Let's fast forward that baby. This thing should be blown apart by the dust. Man, that thing's just grows though. It gets up out of the dust layer and starts heading for the islands. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this a show. I want to thank everybody out there that helps us out. Thanks to everybody that shares this information out. Thanks to all the mods, all the listeners. They're just buffering us to death tonight. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to play a song called Rise, man. It's time to get up and rise. We're out of time. The 5G kill grid is going in. Anyway, guys, much love. Yeah, well, I'll go check. We're locked and loaded here. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Turn it up. If I get it to work, though. That's the next thing. You don't want to know what's in that dust.